This is Rylie Ann with Black Tiger Press, here with...
Hey, this is David Angel from the Broken Poet Society.
And we're here to learn more about the evil poetry behind the music. So, describe your start. Like, what really got you started in collaborating your poetry and the music?
I mean, it was a big idea since I was, 15. I really wanted to kind of first it was kind of a Cradle of Filth kind of thing, because they do really dark, poetic, really heavy metal. And I knew, nobody's really into the whole poetry thing with metal, so I was just like, it's either metalcore or deathcore. So I would say when I was 15, but it finally started up this year, and it's growing to be a big success. Sorry, there's a phone call. All right.
So what really gave you the push to start it then this year?
I mean, sorry about the phone call.
It's fine.
It was really just I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. I mean, I was with a band called Exile that I created, which was from my tattoo, Exile. And, it didn't really work out between us, and I was just like, oh. So while I was with them, I kind of did a side project, Broken Poet Society, and it worked out. I was just like, I want to do Broken Poet Society, not Exile, and that's kind of what happened.
So is Exile still together, or is it kind of just dissolved into history?
I mean, I'm not with Exile or any other band. I mean, I am doing my own solo project. The old members of Exile, like Jeff and Steven, they're still together doing their own little thing, which I'm proud of them because they're both amazing musicians. So I'm hoping maybe if they get more established, I really want to do a couple shows with them.
So, what would you say that the story behind the name, the Broken Poet Society?
To be honest, I really wanted to go with Deaf Poet Society, and then I realized, it's a book and a movie. I was like, damn it, I totally forgot while I was doing it. And Broken Poet Society really comes from back in the 1600s. Poetry was considered an act of defiance. It was basically either you follow the rules of God or you go to hell, basically.
Yeah.
And poetry was yes, and poetry was was basically was considered an act of Satanism. So with that said, it was also contributed with the idea that not many musicians nowadays actually create their own music or do many meaningful lyrics, and I wanted to create this project to be something super meaningful. I wanted everything to be poetry. I love poetry. I love writing poetry. It's my life.
You're good at it?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I wanted to incorporate both of them together. So Broken Poet Society just comes from basically me thinking up of the idea of a society of poets that are outcast by society and declared those who defy the norms. So that's kind of what the idea came from.
Really drifting off mainstream?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you listen to the music, it's definitely something unique. It's not what's mainstream.
Well, like I said, it's definitely, I mean, it intrigued a 9-year-old who is a poetry buff too, so it's interesting, and even if you don't like poetry, I feel it's just so fascinating that you tend to just enjoy it no matter if you like poetry or not.
Yeah. I mean, the message behind the music, I mean, nonetheless, whether you like the poetry or not, I make it so you understand what I'm trying to say, whether it's in the title, because some people won't understand the metaphors, and I use a lot of metaphors in music. So they'll be like, ooh, so yeah, this is what it means. And whether they don't even understand it or care about the lyrics, the music is still heavy and sometimes dark, sometimes slow, but it's good.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely unique and amazing. So what's your favorite song then that you have wrote?
I really do like. I think my dog just raped the cat. Dexter, Dexter, Dexter. Um, I would say Amongst Us Dead, but I really love Staring. Staring is one of my favorite songs for sure. It's very tribal. Yeah, I realized they're like going at it like crazy. Yeah, but Staring for sure.
That's cool. Yeah. When you said that I got the singles, it's like those who are like constantly, like, I try to I listen to a lot of the more I guess big stuff like Metallica and stuff like that. But I really try to listen to the local smaller bands. Like that's what I play all the time. So it's when your song comes up, it's one that definitely everybody recognizes. That's for sure. Like you're in the office.
I mean, the first thing that came out, the first single was Amongst Us Dead, and everybody was like, "Ooh, we like it." I mean, I worked on some demos. It's on Reverb Nation, and there was I don't even remember the titles at this moment, but Amongst Us Dead really stood out from the rest of them. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to record it in an actual studio. So I did, and everybody liked it. And after that, I kind of want to do a little more poetic type of thing, really dark. So I did Staring, which is I don't know, it's just my favorite because all of it was me, and Amongst Us Dead was not all me. It was me and my friend in Australia. So
Aussies.
Yeah, they know their metal.
They do. So then with the poetry, then is it just stuff that you base off your life, or mainly feelings, or like with Tabby, is it stuff that you go through or you feel with her or anything? I know some of it's dark, but not all of it's that dark and demented.
I mean, with my poetry, I try not to base it off my real life because I like to be very cryptic and very mysterious to the public eye. Although it's very strange because when I'm on stage or something, I'll be like, roar, and then right behind the stage, like, hey, how you doing? I have this different alter egos. But, my poetry is based basically on concepts I come up with. For example, Amongst Us Dead is just me walking around and realizing that people really don't think for themselves, and it's a shame nowadays because back in the day, and I say back in the day like I'm from an old man, but for real,
A lot has changed in these few years. It seems like it's back in the day.
Especially in the music industry, people are not thinking for themselves, not creating music themselves, and it's just becoming a very, very disastrous thing.
I'm gonna say this, but you sound a lot like Hyatt from the Dead Lotus Society with how you're talking like, oh, back in the day, and it's so funny.
Back in the day, yeah. Me and Hyatt, we're really good friends. I mean, we laugh a lot. She's a cutie.
She's very similar to the whole roar, and they get off stage like, hi.
Yeah, we're basically the same in that aspect because we have the same type of humor from what we've talked, and we try not to act so serious in life. And personally, myself, if I act so serious, I'll just be so depressed. Because my music is very serious, it's very dark, it's very, sometimes some might say mellow, but I don't want to be acting that way 24/7. Because it'll just ruin the effect of what the music is like.
So, do you I've noticed that you do a lot of the artwork for the Broken Poet Society. Is that really reflecting right off of the music, or?
I try to do as much artwork as I can. I mean, I love Photoshop. That's like my baby. Oh God. But basically, I'll listen to a song or two from either Broken Poet Society or even OTEP, because OTEP is highly influenced in the Broken Poet Society, and just create what I feel. Yeah.
Well, but do you have any of your favorite artwork that you've done for the Broken Poets Society?
I'm not sure. I mean, I really like the logo I did with the barcodes, but then I realized, oh, wait a minute, the Dead Lotus Society does this crap. So I can't take that from them because that's what they've done from the beginning, and it's like, oh, so I was really sad. I was, but I love editing nonetheless. So I love everything I do.
So then you said that OTEP's very influenced in the music. What else is very influenced?
Oh God, I don't even know. Like The Agonist for sure. I love The Agonist, especially their new album. Gave me an orgasm. uh, like I said, OTEP, 9 Inch Nails, Deftones, Slipknot. More their older stuff though, not the new stuff.
That's what everyone's been saying.
Yeah, I mean, I hope their new album is better and they retreat. But Cradle of Filth, their older stuff, and I would say maybe Behemoth. Maybe, I'm not sure. A little bit vocally.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, it's when I asked my sister what she thought, and she goes, "Does he look like Edgar Allan Poe?" Because she said that she could see some of that dark, demented, like what kind of aspect in it.
Yeah, I adore Edgar Allan Poe. I love his poetry. I love his novels. I love everything he's ever written. I actually saw the movie The Raven a couple days ago, and I was just like, yes, yeah. I was just so happy.
The orgasm in the back of the theater.
Yes, I jizzed in my pants, but I was very happy. I mean, I love everything that's very dark, demented, and just twisted in every single sense of.
Have you read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft?
I have to say maybe. I'm not even sure. Maybe.
You should look him up. You'd like him. He's more the sci-fi, dark, twisted, like aliens are going to come and rape your dark, demented soul.
Nice. I will have to check that out. I know Hyatt is like hardcore into that. Mm-hmm. I haven't really read into HP. I think I may have. I can't say for sure I have, though.
So, when you said a lot about the people don't understand sometimes when they listen to your music, but what do you hope the people that do understand and really take the time to listen and seek out your music take away from it? Like, what do you want them besides, like, oh my gosh, I just had a music-gasm or something?
An eargasm?
An eargasm, there you go.
I mean, I really want them to understand it in the form that they will take it in their daily lives. For example, for Amongst Those Dead, I want them to start thinking for themselves, not let people think for them. You know, stand up, put your fist up, and don't let people control you, control your own fate. I actually have I don't have a saying, actually. I stole it from Francesca Destruct. She's a really close friend. Defy fate. She has that on her knuckles, and I agree with it completely. I mean, there will be a lot of obstacles in life, and I want them to listen to the music and be like, all right, this has inspired me in some odd way, whether it be physically, emotionally, or sexually. I don't even know. But whatever way, I want them to, hold on to a little bit of it at least.
Yeah. So, when somebody talks to you about your performance, what are they always like? Well, not really somebody, but how do you envision yourself when you're on stage? Like, what do you think the audience sees when they see you performing on stage as the Broken Poets Society?
I personally think they think, hey, there's a fat guy screaming. But no.
You're not fat.
No, but I I don't know. I don't really think for the crowd. Like I said, I let people think for themselves.
Yes, but I'm saying though is that if when you perform, like how do you envision yourself as if you were in the crowd?
You mean like looking at myself in?
Yes.
I don't know. I try to portray a lot of emotion when I'm on stage of every single lyric I write. So I'm not sure. Like, hey, this guy's got awesome emotional distress. He needs a psychiatrist. That's what I think.
So,
Actually,
so, well, with all that being said, then, so like when you said you have an alter ego when you perform, then how did you become that alter ego? Is it mainly through the poetry? Was it like kind of just something that just clicked in your head that said, I could do this, I'm gonna be this person, I'm gonna be the Broken Poet Society, or was it just something that, like, since you were 15 type thing?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it does make sense. I mean, it's very different. It's very difficult to say because I try to separate my personal life from my musical life. So there would be an alter ego. For example, like like I am right here. I'm very giddy. I have a lot of jokes. I'm very silly.
You are a little more happier than I thought you'd be, but
Yeah, I'm a happy fellow, but I do suppress a lot of tension, dark memories, dark feelings inside me, and I guess I switch all around. Like I don't know how to say it. Like let's say that right here, this is my happy side, my mask, and inside there's like this type of thing. So when I'm on stage or studio or writing, I switch around. So happy side inside, angry
one of those
outside.
toys things that the faces switch on them.
Yes. Yeah. So I kind of change who I am. I mean, I am the same person. There are, I cannot deny there are a lot of things that have happened in my life, but I try to use only that. I would call it an influence because it is an influence in the music. Only in the music, like in the studio. Like if I'm not crying, if I'm not pissed off, if I'm not extremely gonna punch something in the face while I'm in the studio and recording a song that is extremely emotional, then I'm not doing my job.
So then I have a question that we're trying to ask everyone we interview. How would you describe art in your own voice? Like, how would you... Yeah, in your own voice. And not... You can get off the mainstream and think for yourself here. Because I know you like to do that.
Arts. I think art is the perception of a person's own persona, I guess. Like they can throw a splash of water on a canvas, and that is their art. Yeah, that makes no sense. But
You mean paint?
No, water, paint, whatever they feel,
Yeah.
But it's their art. It's whatever they do, whatever's coming out of their soul, whatever's coming out of their heart, mind. It's it's theirs, and that is art. To feel, to have that unique thing that's yours. Maybe share it with the community. I mean, it was very hard for me to share any lyrical or music with Broken Poet Society with the world because it's very personal. But that's kind of what I think it is. The world is a blank canvas, and what you decide to do with it is your art, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah, that's my thought. But see, that's exactly that. You sound like so much like Hyatt. It's a good thing though because Hyatt is like so damn brutal. She's gonna be watching this like, oh. But
It's this guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be oh Lord, they're talking about me again. Is there anything you want to add to this, or is there anything you want to tell the music fanatics and artists of Black Tiger Press about you or about anything for that matter?
Well, as for me, I was doing my solo work, which is completely different from Broken Poet Society. It's ballads, and I do love to sing. You know, I do have a singy side, but it's very depressing. Like any, but I don't know. As for Broken Poet Society, I mean, we're currently in pre-production for Breed, our debut album. Everything is being very meticulous. Uh,
Oh, with all this, how is it like to get Poet Society signed?
Oh, that was so weird. Like it was the weirdest thing in the world. I didn't even expect it. I mean, I was fucking around with Broken Poet Society, some music. It's like here, hi, yeah, here, and I, I guess I did an interview. I had an old radio show called David Angel Radio, uh, and I interviewed Francesca Destruct, and a partner of Prophecy Records was listening, and that's how everybody knew about David Angel, Broken Poet Society. And so I told Eric, who's the partner that I'm talking about, I'm like, yo, listen to this, tell me what you think. And he's like, oh, that's so fucking awesome, yeah, okay. We got signed, like, immediately. Basically, um, on the management roster, and then it took a little bit, but we're now on artist roster, so I'm very proud of that. Being signed to anything really is a
A
big
big
accomplishment.
accomplishment, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that, do you feel that you have a very large support group with your family or the people around you then that support you with being signed and whatnot?
Pardon?
Do you feel that you have a very large support group around you that support you when like being signed and all that?
I mean, I do. I mean, I have my family. My mom's she's very protective. She's very scared of what might. Dexter. Sorry, that's my dog. Uh, it's very, my mom's very protective, and she's like, oh, is this legit? Are you sure? Oh my god. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, stop ringing. God. So I was very happy about that. I mean, my mom is very protective, like I said. I got my beautiful girlfriend, who is now my wife to be. She's extremely supportive.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm also gonna be a dad, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Like I said, that child better have a good music taste, otherwise I'm not gonna beat the dad.
Yeah, I mean, she was just. We were just talking like an hour ago. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna pimp my child. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like I'm gonna get her or him, a skull shirt and all these band shirts. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
So, sorry, I kind of just popped in my head. So again, don't you have some stuff planned for, like, with the new debut album?
I mean, Staring is the intro for the entire album, so that's why I wanted to release it so the world's like, woo, what's this? What am I going to listen to? So I'm pretty excited about that, and I want the world to be curious because I don't want to release any details into what is going to happen. But as for at this very moment, I really want to start darkly poetic and then going into the really, really, really heavy stuff because it's going to get really heavier. What you hear vocally on Amongst Those Dead is really not my actual scream. I mean, it's my scream, but it's not my
Full
my
blown.
full blown because I didn't want to be like, oh, so this is what we're going to expect all the time. I want to be very cryptic and mysterious, like I said. So it's going to be something.
Do you have any tours planned or anything where you're gonna go and melt faces off?
Oh, damn, I don't even know. I mean, we want to tour, and by we, I mean myself and whoever comes along, because I got to get live musicians. But I really want to tour on next year, pretty much the entire year. But at the same time, I want to be there for my son and daughter. So I have to be, careful with both. So I really want to do a full U.S. tour for sure. That would be a dream come true. But we'll see what happens. I mean, nothing is planned. Nothing is set in stone. Yeah.
So, and then, what about this album? When is it supposed to be released? Like, around what time?
The original release date was actually, let me check. I think 3 days ago.
Oh.
Things happened, and I wanted to be very, very meticulous about the product because we were only working it for a month, and I was just like, oh, no.
It's not ready.
Yeah, it's not ready at all. Like, no. So, I mean, sometime next year, hopefully at the end of the year, but we're not sure.
Okay, well, just keep us updated, and you have a spot on blacktigerpress.com where you can tell me, and I'll put your info and keep the diehard Black Poet fan or Broken Poet fans.
I know, everyone's confused. Don't worry.
I can't talk today. So that's everything, and anything else you want to tell anybody?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.